Okay, so I've been asked by a few people now about the whole double stroke technique. Now, I'm by no means a master of this or even really that good. I've kind of stumbled on it doing blast beats. As I was doing two-footed blasts, I was kind of more flat-footed, and then every now and then I thought I was mistriggering, but it was actually hitting flat enough that I was kind of doing the heel toe, and I didn't know I was doing that. So, or let alone how to do it, or slash control it. So, I'm using Axis A21s, which longboards are just as fine. In fact, I think I'd kind of prefer that because you can get better. I like coming from further back and getting more of a swing at it, and then I think you rebound better too. So you do definitely want some of these slicker hard plastic style mesh head protector versus like one of the foam like mouse pad filling ones. And I've got my spring tension like absolutely maxed out. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it too well, but basically as soon as you hit the kick drum, you want that beater shooting straight back, and for a couple different reasons. So you don't end up mistriggering as you're like just doing a normal fill and you go to hit a cymbal and you have it basically do a double stroke on accident. But the tighter it is, the faster it kicks back, and it all kind of oddly works in its own favor. So the slower you go, just the way you're doing it, your second hit is naturally slower. So when I was first trying to go fast, I had my foot way back here, but you don't have as much control, you don't have nearly as much power, and so I'm running Superior Drummer 3, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of skipping all over the place with the technique here, but on my kick, I've got a velocity gate here. Well, this isn't the normal metal kit that I use. So anything below an 85 velocity gets canceled out. So I don't get any like odd, triggers just putting my foot down or whatever. And that also makes it so that I'm hitting fairly hard to get that double. So it's not like I'm just barely, feathering them in there. They're hitting pretty damn hard. And so the actual technique itself, it's hard to just do right off the bat, but you are kind of you are basically in you can do it with whatever shoes too. I'm using friggin' sandals, but you are kind of rolling your foot just like this. And so yeah, you basically start with the beater down. So that's basically how it looks, and of course, the faster you're going, you're not getting as as much of a big kickback on the beater. And oddly enough, it seems like also I'm left-handed too, so that makes things make more sense. But my support foot seems to pick up on new techniques easier too. Like if I have hits that don't end up getting registered, it's usually my dominant foot. So the way I was used to playing, it was just ankle, and I'd kind of hit the speed I could hit, and it was hard to work, past beyond that. And then when I started suddenly doing the doubles, the other nice thing is your time, like going fast with singles, if I wasn't up to practice or wasn't extremely warmed up, I'd be playing triplets and not even really realize it at first because they were just going as fast as they could. But with doubles, you're constantly, so if your tempo is this, like it's really, and you're double timing that, it's really hard to play triplets unless you're meaning to. So it's really easy to keep time just because your legs are already kind of going at halftime. So here it is with some sound. I've got a QSC speaker over there, and dear God, like shit can any Roland stupid monitor. Get a QSC. It's fucking unreal. I was going fast enough. I was starting to miss some hits, but yeah, I found, so I started doing this literally like 2 months ago, and I can hit 250, 260 fairly easy. I mean, granted, your shins are going to burn. I mean, it's a totally new, different thing. And when you're doing it right, you really feel the pedal kick back up on that second double. So I would say start slow. And once you start getting that, you can start doing all sorts of cool stuff where you're playing, say, I know if you guys are death metal fans or whatever, but like your normal death or blast beat, 2-footed blast, and then suddenly double time that bass drum hit, and it's just fucking mega. So just. And then otherwise your drills, I mean, kind of like what I was just doing. You got your single strokes and then throw in a triplet. And then quads and sevenths. But yeah, just work on all those little kind of, patterns and get to where, I mean, that's what's really going to give you the control on when you're kicking it in and kicking it out. And it got to the point where it was hard to not do doubles when I wasn't trying to. So yeah, you'll have to relearn some techniques, but it's worth it. I mean, to be where I'm at now after a couple months, like, good God, I wish I had stumbled upon this 10 years ago. So yeah, there's a wordy description about that and how that all works out. I'm waiting on some ACD pedals, and I am stoked to see how those run compared to these. So yeah, there we go. Hope this helped.